Hey, good evening, everybody. It's been a while since I made a video, but I'm really excited to talk about a new feature that I just developed for the Greater Wall. Promise I'll keep it as short as I can. So essentially what this does is it provides the Greater Wall the ability to forward its results to a security onion or an elastic stack, and analysts can, view the results in Kibana. So I have two scenarios right here, and then I'll get into a demo. So scenario one is the more traditional way where WinRM is enabled and the Greater Wall has the ability to query them remotely over WinRM 5985. I'm not going to get into explaining exactly how the Greater Wall works because that's already been covered in previous videos. But essentially, um, the computer with the Greater Wall installed will go out, run the modules on the target computers, and receive the results back. It'll store all those results locally on this machine. Okay, and then step two, the Greater Wall computer will convert the results that it has stored locally to event logs locally. And now this computer has a Winlogbeats agent installed on it. So it'll convert those results into event logs, and Winlogbeat will automatically forward those to Security Onion, and Security Onion automatically knows how to index those forwarded logs. And then at that point, your analysts down here can access Security Onion and just browse the results in Kibana. Scenario two is where you don't have WinRM and the Greater Walls run locally on each machine. There's a lot of reasons why this might be a scenario that you would come across. But in this scenario, we're going to go ahead and place a local copy of the Greater Wall on these four computers here, and we're going to run all the modules in like the local mode and do the same thing. Nothing's different, and these computers will go ahead and automatically forward their results over TCP. Well, you can actually specify the port, but WinLogBeat will forward those logs to Security Onion, and there's no the Greater Wall master computer up here in the top left. That's only applicable if you're doing it remote. And then again, as always, your analyst can analyze it in Kibana. Each module has its own dedicated event ID. I'll post this on my GitHub so that way you can use it as a reference, but when you're in Kibana, you can use these event IDs to do your filters. So that way, if you're only looking for process info, you can filter by event ID 110. All custom modules or anything not included in this list will be all clumped together in event ID 200. It's better than nothing. It'll still get there. You just have to get a little crafty with your filters if you want to be effective. All right, so there's new admin commands in the Greater Wall. We got beat sync, reset, and uninstall. The WinLogBeat executable is not included in the default zip that I have posted on my GitHub. The reason for that is if you want to use it, I want it to be a purposeful decision. I don't want you to download it and have it by accident, and then you end up installing software on a customer's network that wasn't approved. So if it is approved to be used, you got to make the purposeful decision to go ahead and download it and put it in the right folder. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into a demo. I have a fresh download of the Greater Wall. I'm going to go ahead and go into it. Same menu as before where it asks you for some setup parameters. I'm going to skip the Active Directory thing for right now. And this is the new one. The Greater Wall has the ability to forward the results to Security Onion. Cool. Let's go ahead and continue with that setup. It wants the IP address of our Security Onion in the port. Unfortunately, I don't have a Security Onion set up right this second. I apologize for that. I know that's not what you wanted to hear. I'll make that in my next video, but this video is just to go through the setup of the new feature on the Greater Wall. So for this, I'm just going to use loopback at 5044. But again, you can choose whatever port you need to based off of how your Security Onion is set up. All right, so it tells you that's what it's set at. Okay. Okay, so you see that there's no WinLogBeat executable here. So I'll just go ahead and hit OK. And this kind of recaps everything I just told you about how it doesn't come standard. I have a copy hosted at my GitHub if that's where you want to get it from. But the TLDR is that you're missing this file. So you need to get Winlogbeat and put it in the source folder. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to go through running it locally, no connection test, no credentials. That's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab the executable that it's looking for, and I'm going to put it in my greater wall folder in source. Boom. Done. Okay, so from here I can issue the command reset PGW logbeat. .27.0.0.1 5044. Yep. Okay, so now it recognizes it. It doesn't really matter what you have it named. It's going to rename it to SecOnionBeat no matter what. So you just go ahead and hit OK. And it's as easy as that. We're installing it right now. All right, it's going to do a network connection test and try and diagnose any errors. Okay, so we have an error here. So this one is saying that this is the status right now. So when the agent tried to call back to the security onion server, this is the status, SYN sent. That means it's not getting SYN-ACK. So here's some tips on what the issue is. 9 times out of 10, that's going to be either a firewall rule that's preventing the SYN-ACK from coming back, or it's going to be a route issue on the security onion. The security onion doesn't know how to reach back to this computer that's calling out to it. But yeah, given that you go ahead and fix that, you should be good to go. So for the sake of this demo, let's just pretend that said established. It would say established if I had a security onion stood up right now, but I don't. So let's go ahead and we'll run a module. Okay. First, let me make sure I don't have any. Make sure I don't have anything in there. Yeah, let's delete that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run something quick, 16 tasks scheduled. Same as always, status. Oh, it's completed very quickly. Then to write it to disk, sync, like we've gone over in previous videos. Okay, so now it's on disk. We can verify that. See it? It's right there. Things are normal. This is where the new feature comes into play. I can go ahead and say beat sync. Okay. And now in the background, it's converting that file to event logs locally to this machine. It's not changing the file. It's just taking a copy, making event logs locally, and Beats is going to go ahead and ship those out. And I can verify this by looking at my event viewer, applications and services log, TGW, and here we go, event ID 114, and you can see that this is all scheduled task information. All right, so let's go ahead and do one more. We'll do SMB. That's an extremely quick one. Status completed, sync, beat sync. Let's go ahead, refresh. There we go. We got a 113 SMB, and this is already at the security onion if it were to be there. Okay, so it's stored here and the security onion. Now, one thing that you don't have to worry about is when you do the beat sync, it keeps track of what files it's already converted to event logs, so it doesn't do the same one twice. So you're not going to fill up your security onion with duplicate log results. Okay, that file is located in TGW logs, completed beat syncs.txt. So if I get content of that, these are the files that it knows it's already synced. You'll never have the same file name twice because it has a timestamp, a date timestamp in there. So you'll be good to go on that front. All right, so the next thing that I want to show you is just uninstalling it. So to uninstall, you just uninstall TGW logbeat. It's as easy as that. So it stopped the service, removed it, and cleaned up all the files that it put in ctemp. Okay. All right. I think that is good for today's video. Again, I'm sorry about not having the security onion up and running, but I will make sure to do that in my next video. Um, the new version of this is now available at my GitHub. I'll put a link in the description. If you have any questions, reach out to me, comment on the video, and have a nice night.